Fraud, identity theft, and data breaches have become part of our everyday lives. So far in 2024, there have been more than 1,300 data breaches, and last year, consumers reported losing more than 10 billion to fraud, the highest dollar amount ever reported, according to the Federal Trade Commission. Today, I have Michael Bremer here, who's going to talk about this. Michael is the Vice President of Experian Global Data Breach Resolution and Consumer Protection. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Great, James. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. What does the latest identity and fraud report show?
Well, the report that we just released in 2024 showed that consumers are concerned about two major things. One is identity theft, and 84% of the 2,000 consumers that we surveyed said that, followed closely by 80% of the people were concerned about credit card fraud. In both cases, that number was up over 20% versus a year ago.
Now, what are consumers' top concerns?
Consumers are concerned about online privacy. They're concerned about the rash of scams that they're getting served up. And then last but not least, fake news. And of course, fake news particularly pertains to the election cycle that we're going through currently.
Not only fake news, but that news clip, and you click on it, and all of a sudden that advertisement pops up all over the place too. Got to watch out for that.
Ab-
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, how does someone protect themselves from fraud, cybercrime, and identity theft?
I always start with three things. One, be aware. Two, take action quickly. And three, have layers of protection. So starting with awareness, make sure you know what's going on in your credit file and monitor that credit file. You can also freeze it if you're not credit active. I'd also suggest putting on two-factor authentication on accounts. This is in addition to a username and password. You can go ahead and have a thumbprint or a facial recognition, or even have a text to your phone, which is an additional layer. I would recommend a password manager that keeps all your passwords in one spot, securely encrypted. It allows you only to remember one username and password and that second factor of authentication. But more importantly, it will auto-generate long and complex passwords.
Now,
Last but not least,
go ahead,
go
please.
ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah. Last but not least, I would say use encryption and or a VPN on all your devices. It helps keep the data secure. And then finally, I would stay away from public Wi-Fi, because you just never know if that Wi-Fi signal has been spoofed or compromised, and you may either be downloading software to your device and or they're stealing information off of that device.
Speaking lastly now, where can we go to learn more?
Experian.com has three great pieces of information or resources. First, tips to protect yourself prior to having an identity theft event. What to do, in fact, if you suffer identity theft, and the steps you should take, including where to file a police report, how to sign up for identity theft protection, if it's Identity Works from Experian or something that's offered in a breach notice. And then last but not least, it's also a catch-all if you have anything to investigate about current breaches and or scams going on.
This week, Michael Bremer, Vice President of Experian Global Data Breach Resolution and Consumer Protection. And one of the things I like, Michael, right now is I love that painting behind you, because I love movies, and I'm looking at it. It looks like Paramount State right behind you. I like that. I like that a lot.
That's a picture of downtown Austin, the Paramount Theater and the State Theater on Congress Avenue, about 2 blocks from the Capitol. So appreciate you noticing it, and I love the picture as well.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you again for your time.
Appreciate it, James. Have a good one.
You too.